Barcelona will target Manchester City and Norway striker Erling Haaland in 2025 as part of a signing strategy that they hope will convince Xavi to stay beyond the season. What? So they're trying to convince Xavi to stay as the Barcelona manager by saying, we'll sign Haaland. What, this year? No, not this year. The year after. No, it's just absolutely ridiculous, man. Listen, Erling Haaland is the greatest striker around in world football right now. The guy's goal scoring record is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, he is going to be linked with Barcelona. He is going to be linked with Real Madrid. He is going to be linked with PSG, with everybody. Yeah, why? Because he's the greatest striker around and he's still only 23 years old. But for Barcelona, a club that, can I just remind you, when we loaned João Cancelo to Barcelona in the summer, you know what they had to do? They had to remove the buy option from the contract because La Liga said you can't put that in because you've not got enough money. And now all of a sudden, they're now trying to make promises to Xavi that they're going to sign Haaland in 2025 to try and convince Xavi to stay as the manager. I find this absolutely hilarious. I really, really do. Haaland looks like he's loving life in Manchester. He looks like he's loving life at Manchester City. Yes, we need to create him a few more chances. But to see that he's going to be leaving in 2025, I personally don't see it. And the only team I see him leaving for is probably Real Madrid. However, they're probably going to sign Kylian Mbappe. They've got Endrick coming through as well. I think actually people are doing what they've done since day one of Manchester City's ownership. When the Sheikh came in, the Sheikh, man, so he'll only be there for a few years before he gets bored. We're now nearly 15, 16 years into the project. Yeah. Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola, he'll only be there 2 years, 3 years. He only does 3 years. He gets bored after 3 years, has to go. He's getting on for a decade. Yeah. People love to do this. People love to do it. I just find it hilarious. It's annoying that they come at sort of big parts of the season. And I wish they wouldn't. But another bit of news coming out this morning in the BBC gossip column, guys. And this is to do with Florian Wirtz. Manchester City and Liverpool expect their attempts to sign Bayer Leverkusen and German midfielder Florian Wirtz to be hampered by Xavi Alonso's decision to stay with the Bundesliga leaders. Now, here's the problem with Florian Wirtz and the whole creative midfield situation for Manchester City. I've said for some time now, at least a year, that we need to sign the Kevin De Bruyne replacement before Kevin De Bruyne leaves. In my opinion, whoever comes in is going to be a young player. It's going to be someone like a Wirtz, like a Musiala, someone in the early 20s, maybe even 19, something like that. It is not fair. It is not fair, in my opinion, to bring them in the year that Kevin De Bruyne leaves and says, off you pop, mate. Go on. We need 20 goals, 20 assists in all competitions. It's not right. I think, and this player is likely not to be English, based off of what's currently available on the market. So they're going to come to a new league, maybe have to learn a new language and expect to click like that. No, I think that is wrong. We should be signing the Kevin De Bruyne replacement, in my opinion, this summer. Why? Why? Because I think Kevin De Bruyne will probably leave next summer, if not this summer, in which case we're already too late on the sort of progress that I want to make. Now, Florian Wirtz, from what I've seen, and I've seen quite a bit of him this season, and from the way that he plays, is an absolutely perfect, ideal replacement for Kevin De Bruyne. Will it be all roses when he comes in? Probably not. There will probably be teething issues. It's a new league. Physicality might be an issue, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, like David Silva, actually, in his first year, he got pushed off the ball a little bit. And then eventually, boom, he got it. He understood where to go and how to keep the ball. And he was away. That might happen with Wirtz. That's why I think he needs a year, or whoever it is, a year to bed him in. But Florian Wirtz is the player, in my opinion, that Manchester City should be targeting. Now, is he going to be staying at Bayer Leverkusen? Possibly. Obviously, we know that Xavi Alonso is staying at Bayer Leverkusen. So he might stay with Xavi Alonso to try and play some Champions League football and maybe trying to retain the title next year, which would be an incredible achievement. And in fact, would probably, it's kind of mad because they're currently invincible, but if they retain the trophy next year, that might be seen as something to be even more of an achievement than this year, because Bayern are expected to buy and invest heavy and obviously have a new manager. But I think we've got to try. I think we've got to try and get him out of that football club this season. You've got to try and sell the project, sell the dream to Florian Wirtz. You know what I mean? And see if he is tempted at all at coming. Now, if he's not, you have an option. You have two options. Option one is you do nothing. You wait, you go back for him next year. Pros, you get him. You get the Kevin De Bruyne replacement in next year. Cons, you might not get him. He might reject you and go Real Madrid, Liverpool, Arsenal, Bayern. Yeah, and then you're in the mud. You should have just signed someone this summer. He might fall off next year. You know what I mean? He might not be the player that we all thought he was. Might sort of a good couple of years, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, he's actually not that good. There's loads of risks. There's loads of pros and cons to signing Wirtz. It's going to cost a lot of money. We know that. I think we're looking at way over £100 million. He's still got 3 years left on his contract, I believe. He's also got the Euros this summer. If he plays in that, which I assume he will, and has a half-decent Euros, you know what international tournaments do for these players. Liverpool signed Cody Gakpo for £40 million on the back of the Qatar World Cup. So, you know, there's a lot involved in this Florian Wirtz deal. But for me, he is the perfect player for Manchester City to replace Kevin De Bruyne. I think we should go all out for him this summer. If not, I think we should look at Jamal Musiala. He's still not signed a new contract at Bayern Munich. He's only got 2 years left on his deal. Bayern Munich are not exactly in a very strong transfer position here with Jamal Musiala. Jamal Musiala can play left wing. He can play in the middle as well. You know what I mean? He could probably play false nine. He's again young. He's lived in England for a number of years. When he was younger, before he moved to Germany, so he knows the language. He probably remembers the culture. It's probably not like a mad shock for him. He can probably come in and do well. So for me, I think we have to be targeting Florian Wirtz in the primary instance and secondary Jamal Musiala. We have to get another creative player in there. Now I know what some of you'll be saying is, LB, he's completely forgot about Lucas Paqueta. I've not forgot about Lucas Paqueta. And Lucas Paqueta can definitely play in that midfield position. I have no doubts. However, I feel that it is more likely than not that Lucas Paqueta may be used in a more wider area, basically like Bernardo Silva. And then if needs be, players are injured, he can come into the midfield. Lucas Paqueta is a fantastic signing for Manchester City because if you sign him, like Bernardo Silva, he covers multiple areas of the pitch. You can play him right wing, you can play him left wing, you can play him in the middle, you can probably play him false nine. Yeah. So it's a fantastic deal for the versatility that you get, let alone the quality, the aggression, the tackling nature. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched him yesterday against Spurs. Okay, on the ball, maybe slightly below par, but he's off the ball work rate, phenomenal. You know, a lot of time people associate Brazilian players with flair, you know what I mean, with the techie side of the game, where he has that, but he also has the work rate, the on the ball, the goals, the assists. So for me, Lucas Paqueta, get him in the door. If you get him in the door early, in my opinion, that takes the pressure off slightly because you got Savio coming in, remember, from Girona, so he can play right wing. You got Grealish and Doku can still play left or right, and he's still developing. All of a sudden, you get Paqueta in. Yeah, you've got another player in midfield who can create. So, like I say, this year, if Kevin De Bruyne gets injured again or Foden gets injured, Paqueta can slot in there. You've got Paqueta who can go left wing on the right wing. That is your safe option. Get him in, and that gives us the base. Then it's about how high can we shoot? How high can we go? In my opinion, go try and get Wirtz. Go try and get Musiala. Guys, let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll be live tonight for Aston Villa versus Manchester City, live at the Etihad Stadium. It's going to be a huge game. Nothing but a win is acceptable. If you draw, if you lose, for me, title's gone. We've got to focus on the Champions League and the FA Cup. Hopefully, you guys will join me for that. It's been a good one. Smash a like. Get your comments in down below. And guys, I'll catch you tonight. See you later.